Congratulations to the class of 2021. My name is Dr. Jose Coe, Acting Dean of the College of Education at Portland State University, and on behalf of our faculty and staff, I congratulate you on this momentous occasion. You have chosen a rewarding profession rooted in some of the most fundamental necessities and values of a civil society, such as humility, respect, community, and the care for others. The past 18 months have tested all of us in ways unimaginable, and yet we have remained committed and steadfast, knowing that our struggles and sacrifice provides the opportunity for others to learn, to succeed, the opportunity to model, and the opportunity for a better world. I applaud your strength, your courage, and your commitment. I congratulate you and yours for the achievements being recognized today, and I look forward to the days ahead when we can come together and admire our efforts as we develop a more just world. Again, congratulations, class of 2021, on behalf of our community. Thank you.
Portland State University awards honorary degrees to acknowledge individuals who have achieved outstanding scholarship or artistic accomplishments or performed distinguished public service during their lifetime. I am so pleased today to present an honorary doctoral degree of humane letters to Oregon Teacher of the Year and a leading voice on American educational equity, Brett Bigham. Mr. Bigham received his Bachelor's of Science degree in Communications from Oregon State University and then earned a Master's of Science degree in Special Education and Teaching here at Portland State. Mr. Bigham has made exceptional contributions to the children of the state of Oregon, advocating on the behalf of people with disabilities and the LGBTQ communities. In doing so, he has also made exceptional personal sacrifices. During his year of service as an Oregon Teacher of the Year, he was told by his supervisor that if he said publicly that he was gay, he would be fired. Following the White House honoring ceremony, Mr. Bigham spoke up as an openly gay teacher, advocating for the rights of LGBTQ youth. He was subsequently fired. His fight to retain his job and his rights to free speech were included in a Supreme Court amicus brief by the Southern Poverty Law Center. Now an elementary special education teacher in a different district, Mr. Bigham has written over 170 ability guidebooks published from more than 40 countries. He is a recipient of the National Education Association Award for Excellence and is an NEA Foundation Global Learning Fellow.
Good evening, graduates, President Percy, and the faculty of Portland State University. I am honored to be here this evening. For the past months, years, and for some of our PhD candidates, decades, you have been working towards this moment. I am so proud to spend it with you. But in typical 2020s fashion, even your graduation is unique. You step into a world that didn't exist when you started this journey. The world may no longer fit the dreams that you had on that first day at PSU. And you may be wondering if you will have any impact in this crazy new world. You might be asking if one little graduate can make a difference in 2021. While I've sat where you were sitting, I asked those same questions, and I have an answer for them. You have no idea of the impact you are going to have. I want to tell you a little story. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, or a few years ago in East Portland, I ran a classroom for amazing students who just happened to have some profound and pretty severe disabilities. I taught at the county level, and I only saw a student if the local school districts could not handle their needs. I worked with 5 paraprofessionals, and we were an incredibly hard-working set of educators. And we started realizing that our work was bigger than our classroom. Many special education students stay in school until the age of 21, and we decided our graduates deserved a prom. The first year, it was just our class, but the next year, we invited students from a couple of other districts. Each year, it grew and grew until we had students coming from as far away as Salem and Rainier. The Oregonians showed up one year for their prom issue, and the next day, the entire state opened their papers to find my girls in their prom dresses and their wheelchairs looking absolutely beautiful. And the next year, the Rose Festival princesses came and NPR showed up. And suddenly, the entire country got the message. All your graduates deserve a prom. Look here to Portland. We'll show you how it's done. That same year, I put a series of books I had made online. For some of my autistic students, it was incredibly hard to face new situations. Field trips were a nightmare. So I created a series of support books called Ability Guidebooks. If we were going to ride the tram, I went the week before and created a book called I'm Going Up on the Portland Tram. And soon, my students, who had had a very hard time going anywhere, started responding. One student especially needed my help. The year before she had come to my program, she had been sent home 34 times for self-injurious behavior. She would violently hit herself in the face every time she had to go to a new place. Our first 2 field trips with her ended with blood, tears, and a burning desire to change this girl's life. Now, usually, a teacher sees gradual improvement with setbacks and losses, but not this time. It worked. She melted down 34 times the year before I got her, and after introducing the books, she had 1 meltdown in 3 years. I later made a book for the family to go to vacation to Hawaii in an airplane, and it worked. The kid who couldn't go to the mall when I met her now has a job and she travels. And then it kind of clicked. How many students around Portland could use these books? How many teachers? How many adult autistic people were trapped in group homes because leaving their safe place for the unknown was terrifying? I put the books online. I was just sharing, but sharing can impact lives. Sharing is like dropping a stone into calm water. Your act of kindness can create a ripple effect, touching life after life as it moves out away from you. In 2014, I was the first special education teacher to be named the Oregon State Teacher of the Year. I was the first Oregon special education teacher to be chosen as the National Education Association Foundation's Educator of Excellence. That year, I was honored at the White House by President Barack Obama, and Dr. Jill Biden invited me to her house for lunch. From the outside, my life looked pretty amazing, but I was also hiding some very dark secrets. A few minutes after giving my very first speech as Teacher of the Year, my supervisor called me on the telephone. I thought she was going to congratulate me, but what she said was, "You had better shut your mouth. If you say you are gay in public, someone is going to shoot you in the head." I mean it. Someone is going to kill you. I was called into her office soon after, and I was given a new set of directives. I was no longer allowed to speak any words publicly or privately without getting her permission first. I could no longer write anything unless I had her permission. This included personal mail, and I was ordered that I would bring all personal mail from home for her to open and read. It was under these conditions that I found myself standing just outside the White House being interviewed by the International Press Corps. They asked if we wanted to make a statement for our students. My hand started shaking, my soul started shaking, and an image came to my mind that was so clear it was like a photograph. When I was 15, my best friend came out to me. He told me he would never date another woman. I was a kid, but I did my best to console him. And I watched him ride away on his motorcycle, getting smaller and smaller. And I kept waving in case he looked back. I wanted him to know that I saw him. That was almost 41 years ago. And to this day, when someone I love says goodbye, I will watch them until they disappear from view. Because you never know if you will see them again. My funny, lovely friend Mark came out to me, went home, and killed himself. So I stood at the steps of the White House, rocking back and forth, thinking of my friend who saw no future for himself because he never saw a future that he fit into. He never saw an openly gay Teacher of the Year to show him a possible future. He never saw a champion who was willing to put up a fight for a hurt, lonely gay kid. "Pardon me, ladies," I said to the 2 teachers in front of me. "I am coming out of the closet." And I stepped up to that White House microphone and I came out swinging. I told the whole world I was a gay teacher. I told the whole world that our LGBT youth were being harmed by anti-gay laws. And I said a lot of things, but the message to those kids was simple and clear. You are not alone. When I returned to Oregon, it was all at war with my district. A few weeks later, though, gay marriage became legal in Oregon, and Mike and I headed for City Hall to get our license. And I knew the press followed my Facebook account, so I put up a very short and sweet message. I'm getting married today. By the time we got to City Hall, the press was waiting. There were more TV crews than we could count, and we ended up doing our vows on live television. That night, the Oregonian had 45 pictures of our day on their website. Under the headline, Teacher of the Year weds his longtime partner. A few weeks after that, Mike and I became the first gay couple to ever be honored by riding in the Portland Rose Festival Grand Floral Parade. For half a day, we sat on the back of a shiny and very slippery black convertible, waving at 400,000 people as another 500,000 watched on live TV. And every few blocks, these giant speakers were set up, announcing the floats. And as we waved to the crowd, as local newscasters introduced the Oregon Teacher of the Year, and riding with him is his husband. The district decided to make an example out of me. They fired me. And they thought that would be the end of it. But they were very, very wrong. And as I sat wondering what to do, a friend texted me and said, look up your name, spelled wrong with an N, and the country Nigeria. I pulled up Google, and I was surprised to see the new Nigeria Times article. Under a picture of Mike and I in the parade was the story of a gay teacher fighting back. Along with that was a photo of our wedding. And suddenly, any sadness I had was washed away. I would miss my students, but in Nigeria, they are executing gay people. And suddenly, on that day, when LGBT people in Nigeria opened up their papers, they got to see a possible future. And that's when the union brought in their lawyer. Now, do you want to know why you joined the union? I'll tell you why. Because it comes with a free lawyer. And not just any lawyer, a shark lawyer. And she wasn't just a shark lawyer, she was a Sharknado lawyer. She ate my district alive. She was merciless. She ripped those district lawyers to shreds. She scared them so much that the district immediately fired the superintendent and reinstated me to my position. We kept cleaning house, and within months, the entire administration of my district would be gone. They were all fired, reprimanded, or fled. The head of HR and the supervisor who threatened me were so reviled they changed their names just so they could get jobs. And the city of Portland would finish up the job by voting out enough board members to force the district to clean up. Now, in June of last year, the Supreme Court ruled on a landmark LGBT work discrimination case. They ruled that gay people have a right to work without being treated differently. And buried in that case was a little tiny amicus brief by the Southern Poverty Law Center. And that brief told my story. My story was the example of what can go terribly, terribly wrong for LGBT employees. When I saw the Supreme Court ruling, I turned to Twitter to vent, and I wrote a string of tweets to explain what the experience had been like. I didn't hold my punches. I let people see that champions bleed. I let them see that wounds don't always heal. And as usual, I underestimated the impact my words would have. My husband, Mike, was in a virtual meeting later when a coworker told him, "Your husband is trending on Twitter." We opened Twitter and I got a message, and another, over 100 messages in 1 minute. The same thing was happening on Facebook, Imgur, Instagram, Reddit, and in less than 2 days, my Twitter account hit 40 million impressions. Messages from young people started pouring in, thousands of them. Lonely kids from small corners of conservative America. Teenagers in strict Muslim countries who feared for their very lives. And some of these kids were drowning. They were praying that someone would throw them a lifeline. For months, that's all I did, throw lifelines, send love and hope and the phone number for the Trevor Project. I saved a life, I hope, and that was my hope all along. One kid like my friend Mark, saving one kid would make it all worth it. When President Percy asked me to speak here today, the honor was immense. When I learned I would be receiving an honorary PhD, I was astonished. I'm no longer just that nice teacher that won a nice prize. I'm a social justice warrior. I have learned I will say what has to be said. I may not be a very safe person to give the microphone to. And yet here I am, trying to share with you what it means to work in education, showing you that the word champion is the same word as teacher. And I promise that every single day you will impact kids in ways you do not know, see, or understand. And speaking of understanding, I hope you have figured out my hidden message in this speech today. It's the lake, you see, because the lake, it's not a lake. The lake is your student. The rock you dropped is a side hug, or a kind word, or teaching someone to read, or by being the principal who knows everyone's name, and more importantly, knows what kids didn't get breakfast. Those are the ripples that will be moving through that child for the rest of their lives. The lessons you teach and the love you share become a part of every single child who sits in one of your desks. And even after you have reached a ripe old age, even after you have retired and your teaching days are long past, those ripples you made will still be moving across the lake. Thank you, President Percy and Portland State. Thank you for the honorary PhD. It shows me my work has had impact, and it shows me the fight was a good fight. But thank you most of all to the graduating class. Thank you for allowing me to take your last moments as a student and to let me do what I do best. Tonight, I took my pebble and I dropped it into the lake that is the graduating class of 2021. Let the ripples begin.
Hello, College of Education graduates and faculty. I am so honored to be here with you at this graduation ceremony and celebrate all that we have accomplished. My name is Tom, and I am completing my college education through the Career and Community Studies program here at Portland State University. The CCS program provides first-time college students with special needs a full college experience with support all 4 years. In my experience, it's been wonderful. I really enjoyed the classes that I have taken over my 4 years. I love academic coaching. Thank you to Michael and Christine for working with me every week and making sure I got my assignments done. It is a one-on-one experience with my coaches, and they help me with my assignments. I learned to tell my coaches what I want to do and direct what we did during coaching sessions. I have accomplished so much. I passed all of my classes and made sure I turned my assignments in on time to do well. I worked for Portland State Athletics for about 3 years, and I got a chance to help out with the football and soccer teams. I got a lot of job experience in college. After I graduate, I really want to get a job with CSU Athletics. My college life was wonderful. I enjoyed meeting new friends and connecting with my friends over time. I appreciate the support that my team has provided me, especially from Megan McFarland and Sue Burt, who were with me every step of this process. I'd like to thank CJ and Simone for supporting my career development. My team allowed me to find classes that fit my interests and was always supportive through recommendations. I would also like to thank the staff at the Portland State Vikings Pavilion for providing an excellent market experience and helping me build towards my future career. I hope that I can use these skills in the future and continue to help students at Portland State University. Thank you for everyone for your hard work and good luck with your next adventures. Your work will benefit so many students in the future. Congratulations to the graduating class of 2021. You did it.
Hello, graduating class of 2021. My name is Amy Lett, and I am so honored to be here today to not only graduate with such an inspiring and hardworking class, but also to reflect with you on the journey that we have taken to get to this point in our lives. As I speak in front of you, a flood of emotions and memories of the past year enter my mind. I remember feeling overwhelmed before the school year even started because of the uncertainty that this year would bring. I also remember the moments where I struggled in keeping up with my coursework, the moments where I had to confide in my peers when unexpected changes in my life occurred, and the moments where I felt so lost about where life would take me. From not being able to walk for a time that felt like it never ended, to experiencing the loss of loved ones. This year was indeed a tough time. In addition, I remember feeling exhausted and saddened whenever I checked the news because of the lives lost due to the ongoing COVID pandemic, but also due to an ongoing pandemic of racism. To the graduating class and everyone who is joining us today, I hope you all can take a moment of silence as we reflect on these hard moments in our lives, but also for those who cannot be here today with us due to certain circumstances in this past year. Now, as we breathe in all of these hard times, I hope that you can also breathe out the joys and victories that came from them. As I speak in front of you, I am reminded of the valuable lessons I learned from this past year. First of all, I am reminded that I am never alone. There are many people around me who may be experiencing similar emotions and experiences. In addition, when I need help, there is always someone there that's willing to take my hand and journey with me towards a better future. Second, I am reminded that I have the skills and strengths to do anything that I set my mind to. It doesn't matter if my strengths aren't as flashy or impactful as others. In addition, it doesn't matter if I have all the useful skills in the world. What truly matters is if I have the heart and mind to use those skills and strengths for good use. With this, I'm reminded by a quote that an instructor of mine often said to me: "You're not stubborn, but rather you are tenacious and you're a fighter." And with this, a major lesson that I've learned from this year is that I'm a fighter. But I'm not the only fighter. We are all fighters in one way or another. We are here today because we fought to keep going when it felt like life was working against us. We are here today because we wanted to channel our sorrows and struggles into joys and victories. We are here today because we chose to speak up for ourselves and what is right. We are here today because we chose to pursue paths that will not only better ourselves, but also the lives of others around us. And finally, we are here today because we are who we are. Fighters who have always fought all our lives towards a better future, a better life, a better version of ourselves. And we won't stop. We will still be fighting on after this day, fighting for our beliefs, fighting for our passions, fighting for what is right, fighting for change, fighting for others, and fighting for the day where we can all stand together in a world where we uplift each other and fight together against the evils of ignorance and discrimination. Thank you. And congratulations, class of 2021, a class full of fighters.
This day in your life, what does it mean? Really, nobody can answer that but you, and what is inside of you waiting to come out. The only thing I can provide you with today is an address, not an answer. So I hope you will indulge me as I address this question of what does this day in your life mean? What I know is that you have passed through some gates where few people have passed, and you are walking a journey that becomes yours to share in the world. Your education, and I wish to stop here and emphasize, education for me comes from the word educare, to rear up or raise up, not to instruct. Your education should open you up to walk with, listen with, be in community with your fellow humans and the more than human worlds, earth, waterways, animals, sky, planet, and so on. This means that you pay closer attention, you mindfully listen, you develop an ethos around you for care, welcoming, openness, creating a desire to want to live with others. I hope you will remember to stop and listen, like the child listens in the womb. We can learn a lot from the child, our world's children. They will show us the way. For me, as an older person, when I encounter the unknown, I am unsure of my path. I often turn to the children. They show me, quite frequently, how to be playful and what really matters in the world, the preciousness of life. They are a way to joy as long as we have not shut them down or turned them off or tuned them out. Oh, you see, those are our jobs, our burdens, charges, and responsibilities to carry out, to help the child stay open. You see, we are all born wanting to live with. For example, if an infant could draw, they would draw your face. They want to connect with us right from the time they're born. So how do we nurture and cultivate and access this space and grow this dynamic for them and within us too? Generations before you thought that they would do this work, but now it's your turn to seize the work. Your walk to walk, talk to talk. Your lives to be lived in the utmost and fullest possible ways. Don't waste even a second of it on regrets. Recognize that your life that came before has made you. You can cast off the parts that no longer serve you and open a door to let in the new. What comes next for you is still something you can design together. Look around at all the wonderful people you're graduating in your graduating class. Your community is strong. You're a moving force in the world. You stand at the precipice, at the bleeding edge of all that you have known from before. You look out into the unknown, learn from the value of not knowing. We can let in the new, the aha moments of realization and surprise, perhaps even gasp and letting in to our minds what was not there before. As we stand at this precipice, also recognize that there are multiple ways forward. One is to step off and to land on solid ground. Another is to step off and learn how to fly. How will you step off and into that darkness out beyond all that you have ever known before? In fact, you do this very thing every day already. If you tap into yourself, you will find you already know the answer. It is yours. It's in your genes. In these precarious and challenging times, I think we must also realize our potentials through the struggles. I believe that as we encounter struggle, we must become thankful for the smallest of things. For me, this has included turning to my pillow and my bed in the morning as I get up and saying thank you for holding my head and body and allowing me a bit of rest and peace so I can begin a new day. I open cupboard doors and I thank the cupboard for holding my food safely and soundly for me. Same with the refrigerator and the blessed coffee pot. Thank you very much. I thank the gas tank for holding my fuel, the bus, the car, bike tires for helping us all move around. There's so much I can do because of so many who came before and laid the groundwork. We are in this world together. There is no mistaking that. I wish to turn this conversation toward another layer of important thinking. I was taught by an artist to believe in the magic of everyday experiences. There's something extraordinary, extraordinary, in our everyday moment-by-moment lived experiences. Often in classrooms or with clients in hallways, we have these huge elephants staring us down, so much so that we miss the ants hiding out in plain sight. I spend time on finding the extraordinary in my doctoral research, published on that in very many ways. What I most learned was that focusing on moments in time, thinking like a camera, makes you slow down and listen with your senses. It is multi-senso reality in the making, which allows for more wide open alertness and rains down possibilities. Have you ever been stuck on some idea, mulling it over and over, perseverating on it, and just plain old stuck? Well, focus on a moment, a small thing in your surroundings, and then use your acuity to imagine all the way to the stars and then back to that small thing. This sort of expansion and 100% paying attention creates an opening for some possibilities you hadn't thought of before. This process creates possibility thinking. Further, I hope you will remember to collaborate and connect together in community, a common unity, that you can adjust your way of thinking, knowing, and doing, and have experiences of forgiveness and acceptance which creates strong collegial relationships. My friend and author Louise Cadwell writes about this phenomenon in 2003. She says, quote, "Perhaps because we wanted this kind of reality, we had to rub up against each other's rough edges, enough and to the point that it hurt, sometimes a lot and sometimes repeatedly, in order to begin to polish each other. There have been periods of personal suffering and tears and tension and unhappiness. Now it's hard to remember all those scenarios that brought these emotions on. Slowly, it's dawned on us that if we wanted this truth, we had to lose some of our personal righteousness and the need to be right," end quote. Collaboration and connection bring about such ways of authenticity. Choose to be in the thick of it while recognizing and knowing that this too shall pass on to better days ahead. Always think to your future and better days, even when you feel it is impossible to do just that. And lastly, I wish to tell you that you bear new responsibilities now. Knowing that you are working inside of communities, finding magic in every day, encountering struggles, valuing the not knowing, slowing down the seconds in your life, listening like the child, and developing an ethos for care, welcoming and openness. Now that you can see the strengths in children, students, your clients, parents, community, you can help them find their potentials for wanting to live together and tapping into their cultural assets and deep funds of knowledge that go back many, many generations before us. All of this is to say, you have to ask yourself, who will you be as an educator, counselor, a leader, a community member, knowing these things I've shared? Go well and walk, or in our case, Zoom, softly and full-hearted into your days ahead, and remember, my good colleagues and I, we're here to learn beside you in your journey, even out ahead of you. We are just a click away. Be well and stay well.
Class of 2021, congratulations on your graduation. From the Education Administration program, go out, change the world. Make it a better place for each of us. Congratulations.
We knew you could do it. And now is the time to be part of change, leading and engaging with young children, families, and communities. You can do it.
Congratulations, graduates. You worked really hard this year. I can't wait to hear what happens next for you.
Hi graduates, you've worked so tirelessly this year and now you have to go out there and make a difference.
A sincere congratulations to the graduating counselor education students. Best of luck in the new phase of your professional life.
Congratulations, College of Education class of 2021. Yay!
Congratulations, class of 2021. And a special congratulations to our Masters of Early Childhood Inclusive Ed and Infant Toddler Mental Health Graduate Certificate graduates. Be proud of your amazing accomplishments.
A year that will not soon be forgotten. Through devastating wildfires, ice storms, and power outages, unemployment, isolation, COVID-19, righteous protests, and political turmoil, you have persevered with courage and grace. Remember that graduation is not the end. It is the continuation of a lifelong journey as a human being.
Any year, an educator or a counselor degree is a lot of time, energy, care, and commitment. Add to that the schooling and personal challenges of the pandemic. You all are superstars. I'm a department admin in the Curriculum and Instruction Department. Through my work, I'm aware not just of your academic achievements, but how you are also supporting families and communities as well. Please take a moment to feel how so many people at PSU appreciate the work you've done to get to this moment.
You did it. You're awesome. Go out there and continue being out there, being great teachers.
And remember to make every class you teach the best class ever.
I am so proud of you for going out there and taking a path that very few have taken, and it will lead you to great things. I am thrilled for your future.
Happy Graduation Day. Congratulations to the PACE graduates. We know you are and will continue to make a difference in the world. Keep in touch and take care.
We're so proud of all the hard work that you've accomplished, and we can't wait to see what you do with your careers.
Hello, College of Education graduates. You have shown your dedication, resiliency, and perseverance through this year and through your entire programs. Congratulations on your achievement in graduating.